The sea roared like an angry beast, its icy fingers digging deep into the ship's hull. Inside, 28 men huddled together, trying to keep warm. They were trapped, imprisoned by millions of tons of ice in the frigid waters of the Antarctic Ocean. Their fate uncertain, their hope dwindling with each passing day. How did these men find themselves in this dire situation? What horrors did they face during their 7-month ordeal? And most importantly, how did they survive? Let's dive into the chilling tale of how 28 men were trapped in ice for 2 years. It was the year 1914 when a group of 28 men boarded the ship Endurance, embarking on what was supposed to be a routine voyage through the treacherous waters of the Antarctic Ocean. But little did they know that their journey would soon turn into a fight for survival as their ship became trapped under millions of tons of ice, leaving them at the mercy of the unforgiving elements. The men aboard the Endurance were part of an expedition led by the legendary explorer Sir Ernest Shackleton, known for his bravery and leadership in the face of the unknown. Their mission was to conduct scientific research and exploration in one of the most inhospitable environments on Earth. As the Endurance sailed through the icy waters, the men began to feel the full force of the Antarctic Ocean's power. Waves towered over the ship, crashing down and sending icy spray across the deck. The temperature plummeted, threatening to freeze anything in its path. But the crew pressed on, determined to reach their destination despite the harsh conditions. Days turned into weeks, and the crew of the Endurance began to feel the isolation of their mission. As they battled the elements, they knew that they were truly alone in one of the most remote places on Earth. Then it happened. The ship became trapped under a thick layer of ice, leaving the crew stranded and vulnerable. The weight of the ice pressed down on the Endurance, making it seem as though the ship would be crushed like a soda can. The men were forced to abandon ship and huddle together on the frozen surface of the water, waiting for rescue that may never come. As the days passed, the crew's hope began to dwindle. The cold seeped into their bones, threatening to freeze them alive. The sound of the wind and the cracking of the ice echoed across the frozen wasteland, a haunting reminder of their isolation. Just when all hope seemed lost, a loud noise was heard from beneath the ship. The ice shifted, and suddenly the Endurance lurched forward, tilting precariously. A loud crack echoed across the frozen landscape, sending shivers down the spines of the trapped men. It was a sound that spoke of immense power and the raw, untamed nature of the Antarctic Ocean. The crack grew wider, revealing a glimpse of the churning water below. The men watched in awe and terror as the ice groaned and shifted. The ship had moved, but not in a way that offered hope of escape. Instead, it had tilted, revealing a dark and terrifying abyss beneath the icy surface. The sight was both mesmerizing and terrifying, a reminder of the unforgiving forces of nature that surrounded them. As the temperature plummeted and the wind howled, the men huddled closer together, seeking warmth and comfort in each other's presence. They were trapped in a battle against the elements, and only their collective will to survive could pull them through. But the ordeal was far from over. The Antarctic Ocean was a relentless adversary, and the men had yet to face its full fury. With the ship trapped and their supplies dwindling, the men knew that they needed to take action. They began to ration their food and water, preparing for a long and arduous wait for rescue. The icy waters of the Antarctic Ocean threatened to engulf them, bringing with it the possibility of hypothermia and certain death. Yet they persevered, drawing strength from their shared determination to survive. As the days turned into weeks, the men's hope began to fade. They were trapped in a frozen wasteland, with no sign of rescue on the horizon. The cold seeped into their bones, and the constant threat of hypothermia loomed over them like a dark cloud. But the crew of the Endurance refused to give up. They knew that survival was possible, and they clung to that belief with all their might. Then came the moment that tested their resolve. A loud crack echoed across the frozen landscape, and the Endurance lurched violently, tilting at a precarious angle. The men were thrown off balance, and the sound of crashing waves filled the air. The ship had shifted, and with it, their hopes of survival. They were now in a race against time to escape the icy grip of the Antarctic Ocean, before it was too late. But how did the men escape the icy grip of the Antarctic Ocean? What challenges did they face during their ordeal, and what lessons can we learn from their story? To understand how these men escaped, we must first delve deeper into the heart of the storm that trapped them in the first place. The Antarctic Ocean is a vast and unforgiving body of water that surrounds the continent of Antarctica. It is known for its extreme cold, powerful waves, and harsh weather conditions. During the winter months, temperatures can plummet to as low as -2 degrees Celsius. The ocean also produces some of the largest waves in the world, which can reach heights of over 30 meters. These massive waves can easily capsize even the most sturdy of ships, making navigation in the Antarctic Ocean a perilous undertaking. In addition to the physical dangers posed by the Antarctic Ocean, there is also the threat of hypothermia. The icy waters can quickly lower your body temperature, leading to hypothermia within minutes. This condition occurs when your body's temperature drops below 95 degrees Fahrenheit or 35 degrees Celsius. Symptoms include confusion, slurred speech, and loss of coordination. If left untreated, hypothermia can lead to death. Despite these dangers, the crew of the Endurance pushed on, determined to reach their destination. They knew that the risks were high, but they were also aware of the scientific value of their mission. By pushing through the harsh conditions of the Antarctic Ocean, they hoped to make valuable discoveries that would advance our understanding of the world around us. However, their mission would soon take a terrifying turn. As the ship sailed further into the icy waters, the crew began to realize that they were in danger. The temperature dropped dramatically, and the ship began to slow down. Soon they found themselves trapped in a thick layer of ice, unable to move forward or backward. They were essentially frozen in place, at the mercy of the elements. This was just the beginning of their ordeal. Over the next few weeks, the crew faced a number of challenges that tested their strength and endurance. They rationed their food and water, prepared for a long and arduous wait for rescue. But the icy waters of the Antarctic Ocean threatened to engulf them, bringing with it the possibility of hypothermia and certain death. Through it all, the crew remained resilient. They knew that giving up was not an option. They had to stay positive and work together if they were going to survive. In the end, their determination and camaraderie paid off. They were able to escape the icy grip of the Antarctic Ocean and return home safely. But their story doesn't end there. The crew of the Endurance faced a number of physical and psychological challenges during their ordeal. They dealt with hunger, thirst, cold, and isolation, all while knowing that their lives were in danger. Despite these challenges, they remained positive and focused on survival. One of the ways they coped was by maintaining a sense of humor. They told jokes, played games, and sang songs to lift their spirits and keep their minds off the dangers that surrounded them. They also relied heavily on their leader, Sir Ernest Shackleton, who was known for his bravery and determination. His presence gave the crew hope and helped them to stay focused on the task at hand. In addition to the practical challenges, the crew also had to deal with the psychological toll of being trapped in such a hostile environment. They experienced fear, anxiety, and despair, but they never lost hope. They believed that rescue was possible, and that kept them going. Ultimately, their story is a testament to the human spirit, resilience, and ability to overcome even the most challenging circumstances. The story of the 28 men trapped in the ice for 2 years is a remarkable tale of survival against all odds. Through their courage, determination, and camaraderie, they were able to endure one of the most harrowing ordeals imaginable and return home safely. Their story serves as an inspiration to us all, reminding us that no matter how dire the circumstances may seem, hope and resilience can guide us through even the darkest of times. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any of our thrilling tales of adventure and survival. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. Thank you for watching.